Welcome back. We're closing out today's show with a very important topic and an absolutely wonderful expert.
Yes, Hillary-Regelman is the Director of Community Outreach and Marketing for JScreen.org. She is here to talk with us about genetic testing and how it is saving lives and helping future generations. Welcome, Hillary.
Thank you for having me today. I'm so glad to be here.
So what is JScreen.org and how does it work?
JScreen's a national public health initiative, and what we're focused on is genetic testing and counseling for reproductive risk as well as cancer risk. So really, by putting this on people's radar, combined with the accessibility and comprehensive testing, we're truly able to provide life-saving information about how genetic conditions might affect a person and their family. So everything is done online. That's why it's JScreen.org. We're totally remote. A kit is mailed directly to the person's home anywhere in the United States. And that person will provide a saliva sample. And once the results are ready a few weeks later, genetic counseling is performed via telehealth.
So why is it important for people to have genetic screenings? And can you tell us a little bit more about the at-home tests?
Well, just like in your family, it's very prevalent across the country in all of our families, right? Unfortunately, we all know someone who has cancer or perhaps another genetic condition. And really, this is important because when we're talking about DNA, we're talking about something that's invisible. And often we have no idea what we might be carrying in regards to our health or our future generations' health, so our kids and our grandchildren. And genetic testing really serves as providing us that insight into our genetic makeup and plays the key role in determining our risk of developing or passing on certain conditions in cancer. So really today we're talking about two types of genetic testing. The first is cancer genetic testing, and that's really what's testing for cancer predisposition genes that are associated with various types of cancer. So this way, if someone knows they have a hereditary risk, they can work on a plan with their healthcare provider to reduce their risk for either developing cancer or to detect it at an early and treatable stage. And the second type of testing that we're doing is reproductive genetic testing. And this is for hundreds of genetic diseases that individuals and couples could unknowingly pass on to their offspring. So with the majority of these conditions, both parents need to be a carrier of the same disease to be at risk to passing it on to their kids. So some examples you might have heard of are cystic fibrosis, sickle cell, Tay-Sachs disease, and of course the list goes on and on.
How are the results interpreted? When somebody does a sample, they send it in. How do they kind of understand the results?
That's a great question because that's the key to all of this, right? It's not like you get an email like you might with some direct-to-consumer companies and there's no medical involvement. There's a licensed genetic counselor who is trained in exactly this to provide the results and to review options for next steps. So if it's for the reproductive genetic test, it includes options if there is a carrier couple, for example, and they want options for how can they prevent passing that disease that they both carry on to future kids. So options include using assisted reproductive technologies like IVF or egg or sperm donation. There's other ways of amniocentesis and CVS sampling during pregnancy. So they'll discuss that with the couple. And then for the cancer genetic testing, they will provide insight into that cancer gene that that person has a mutation in and discuss like what cancers are associated with that and what should be discussed with their doctor on a game plan. So just as an example, if someone carries, let's say, a mutation in their APC gene, it's associated with high risks of colon cancer. So that person is going to want to do colonoscopies way sooner than they would have and much more frequently, really to stay on top of that colon cancer developing.
Well, this is just really amazing stuff. Thank you so much for the important work you do and for coming and telling us about it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that is it for us today on Your Best Self. I hope you'll enjoyed the info and had some fun. Sarah, I hope you had fun too, and we're going to have to do this again real soon.
Gosh, any excuse to come eat New York City pizza and visit with you, Dr. D. I think this is awesome.
I don't blame you for putting the pizza first. I'm not offended at all, but I am so happy to have you here anytime. Where can our viewers keep up with you?
Well, today they can keep up with me because my husband's coming to New York City with me for the food tour. So he's got 4 different places mapped out. So I had to do that, of course, after we taped today. But and for social, check me out at Toxic Person Proof.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Your Best Self TV to get more tips, behind the scenes content, and more. Until next time, be well and see you soon.
Bye, everybody.